Dredfunn original production. Please sit back and enjoy.
Alright guys, Dredfunn here. We're going to do something a little different. I got myself a 7 by 9 inch square of paper, and I'm going to try to do an inline, non-timeline sketch. We're going to do some Batman. So I'm just going to do this sketch in real time. I'm going to talk to you guys as I am doing the sketch. As I said, I am selecting Batman. Now, you'll have to excuse me. I am dealing with allergies as per usual this time of year. Reason why I chose Batman is he's a great subject for me to draw, and I've drawn him many times, and I'm selecting this certain pose. The way I do my own comic book style drawings, as you can see, as I'm bringing it together here, I like to draw everything out first, sort of almost in a skeletal frame, focusing on not so much, excuse me again, the detail, but what the overall drawing is going to be. And like I said, it's just a small little drawing, and Batman is my subject, so one that I definitely love. So we're going to try to figure this out. So yeah, right now I just got a little outline, and we're going to try to speed this up and sketch this out. Again, this will be pre-Hero Front, or Hero Fest. I'm going to be appearing at the Hero Fest later this week. So I'm just practicing up on my skills. I'm going to do some of these quick little pencil sketch drawings for folks if they would like them. And again, I'm not really focusing on the finer detail with the pencil sketch. You know, I'm just really kind of drawing. This is almost like a pre-sketch to what I would normally do. So when you guys are seeing my time-lapse drawings, a lot of times you are seeing a drawing that is done in this kind of rough style already. I have it off to the side, and then I'm doing it again, filling in some of the finer details. So I'm just giving this a little experiment, seeing how long this takes. We're working on the legs. One thing I want to stress is, for sure, you know, get yourself some bodybuilding magazines, or take some anatomy courses, something like that. It definitely helps when learning how to draw the human frame. And a lot of times in comic books, even in this drawing, for instance, you know, you're not going to find a person quite built like this, especially with equipment on and stuff. I mean, Batman's suit, that's why in the movies you'll see a lot of times they show the like them wearing armor instead of just, you know, them wearing skin tight clothing over top of their own muscles, because it doesn't really translate well. That's why you'll see like a bodybuilder, you know, if he's got a sweater on or something, even if it's a tight one, yeah, you can get an idea of his size, but you can't see the individual muscles that you're going to try to portray in the drawing. And that's why, you know, sometimes it's not quite as realistic. So basically I've got what it is that I want to go with here. Like I said, this is going to be a rough pencil sketch. It's more or less a sketch of what I might do for a real drawing, and in real time. So now I've got everything laid out. I got where my cape's going to go. I can then focus on the head. Drawing the head is something I usually like to save till last. Sometimes I have a rather unusual and unique approach to it, just because you know, I learned how to do things kind of bass-ackwards, I guess is the best way to put it. Teaching myself how to do things after the fact, whereas, you know, other people learn these things, you know, in classes and through other things, you know, like taking courses. I never did that. Had a hard time with that stuff. So a lot of the stuff I've learned how to draw, it's through trial and error. So, you know, it's not the greatest Batman face, but again, this isn't not kind of focusing on making this look too good. This is more or less just a sketch, just something to show you guys, you know, what I might do to set up one of my actual drawings and do it in real time. Alright, so there we go. Well, we'll see what we're at now. How long that's taking me to do that. That's only been about 5 minutes. Not too bad. Put some spikies on there. Boom, boom. Alright. Not bad. Alrighty. Boom, 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 boom. Then we'll kind of shade it in a bit here. So a lot of the areas I'm going to do in dark, I will then go ahead and hyper focus on them, kind of making it black, because with Batman, black is kind of the best way to go with him. He's got a lot of dark colors. This wasn't intended. I was just going to do the original rough stuff, but I noticed that this took a little longer than I wanted, or a little less time than I thought it was, so I'll try to show you how I might then go about and map out how I'm going to shade stuff. See, already I can tell when I go to do the drawing, like if this were to be a real actual drawing that I would then do via the time lapse and take the time, you know, I might want to do some more detail in and around that area to have the cape flow, so I might do something like that. You know, this is just again like a kind of a how-to. Right now I'm focusing on darkening areas, blocking stuff out. So you can see I'm kind of having the light come down sort of this way in the drawing. This is very much kind of like what my approach would be to how I would draw one of my drawings that I would then go ahead and ink. Pick some of these abdominal muscles to shade in. So yeah, no, it's kind of hard because I don't really talk a lot when I draw, so I don't know what to say, but we'll give it a shot. Alright, so when doing the head, like I said, sometimes I like to actually, you know, I'll go ahead and change things slightly. I already see I'm doing this with the eyes. I want to downturn them a little more, shade that part of the nose. I'm not going to hyper detail anything because, again, this is just going to give me an idea of what I want the final product to look like. You know, what areas I'm going to shade in with the muscles. And to give me an idea how long something like this would take. Because, like I said, I'm going to be appearing at Hero Fest. And I might do some of these drawings for folks. Just quick little sketches, you know, if they want them. See how it works. Might actually do another video like this in a few minutes. And I do an ink version. Or use a Sharpie, see if that'll work. So like I said, it is really hard. In general, when I'm doing my drawings, I'll be listening to some music or doing other stuff, and or having other stuff going on that helps to distract me and keep me focused on the drawing. In this case, I don't really have that, so that's kind of hard. But one thing I do want to talk about is, you know, anatomy. You know, you got to know where these muscles go. Like I said, bicep, tricep. I've got one arm turned over, so you're seeing the front part of the arm, which is the bicep, and the tricep and back. So the forearm muscles kind of wrap around like that. Opposite that on this side, I've got myself just, you know, the muscles switched. So the bicep itself is turned over, and the tricep is rolled over. So those forearm muscles are going to go down, just like the fist. Then when you come into the torso, you got the intercostal muscles and the abdominal muscles all through here. What you want to do is, you know, kind of shade it up, pick where you're going to leave certain areas light and other areas dark. Like I said, I like the idea where I'm going to darken this whole side up a little bit more, and right here, because there would be some shading coming on. And, you know, onto the quad muscles, you know, the calf muscle, also, you know, focusing on the feet, trying to get them that comic book style, because everybody kind of has that 1950s stylish shoe look. I mean, it's something that I only do for the comic book characters. And then as a final, you know, touch, I might show a few lined areas like this. Might pick which areas I'll shade, just as a reference for when I do the final drawing, how how it's going to look and what it is that I'm trying to portray. This is just really, like I said, a freehand sketch. Not really focusing on any finite detail. What I'm doing is I'm focusing on the overall drawing and what this might look like when it was done, or if I were to do it as a time lapse. Again, this is very much like one of those simple little drawings that you might do off to the side and then have that as a reference. So like I said, the more references you have, the better. The more you know about anatomy, the better. Now, I'm not going to show the whole process, but with this drawing, like I said, it's just a pencil, so I'm not going to actually ink it, but I'm going to make a few markers here, because when I then go and draw it, I actually want to have the cape done entirely in black. So, you know, just a nice little simple sketch. It's kind of messy, you know, a little bit smudged, but like I said, it gives me an idea of the anatomy of how I want Batman to look, kind of jumping forward. You know, another good thing is, you know, if you got a little action figures, or you can get a little figurine at an art store, check those things out. You know, notice how the body moves. Use yourself as a model. If you got some folks around the place, you know, some kids, some friends, you know, take a couple pictures, you know, even with, you know, shirt on, shirt off, whatever. You know, study both and try to get a good understanding of the human body and how it would move. It adds to the realism, and then you can get good at all this other fluff stuff that you're going to add in here, like, you know, little frills on the belt and stuff like that. Maybe I'll give him a little bit of stubble. Batman always looks good when he's roughed up. So yeah, that's we're going to cut this off now. This is just, like I said, a nice little free sketch. Maybe I'll throw a little signature up here. And my moniker. Oh, look at that. Happens a lot. Like I said, I use these cheap dollar store pencils by Meccano, and a nice little cheap Zebra 0.5 pencil for almost all my sketching needs. And then, like I said, I go about and I'd ink it. But this drawing, I would not actually ink. This would just be like a freehand drawing I'd have off to the side, sort of to show what it is that I would want to do on a larger drawing, or you know, a different drawing. Anyways, Dredfunn out.
This has been a Dredfunn.com production. Thanks for watching.